you thinking of moving to Southern Maryland? Watch this video to hear the reasons why I moved to Southern Maryland and why I'm still here. What's up everybody, my name is Rob Schou and I'm here with EXP Realty in Southern Maryland, and today I want to talk to you about why I chose to move to Southern Maryland and why my family and me still live in Southern Maryland. But before we get started, if this is your first time on our channel, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content about living and playing and eating in Southern Maryland. And also, we're going to start doing more vlogs and getting out in the area too. So if you're really interested in some of the areas in Southern Maryland, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the bell so you're notified. Also, if you're looking to move right away and you need help, I am here for you. So use that contact information below. Call me, email me, text me, anything you need, and I'd be happy to help you. And last, if you want to talk to me right away, scroll down to the first comment, click on the link, and you'll be able to schedule a Zoom meeting with me through my Calendly link that will help you, that we can go over what you need, what you're looking for, and find that best fit for you here in Southern Maryland. All right, so like I said at the beginning, today we're going to get a little personal. We're going to talk about why I moved to Southern Maryland and why my family and I are still here. All right, so when I first moved down here, I actually came down here for St. Mary's College. I did 3 years at St. Mary's College, one of them being my master's program to be an educator, and right out of college, I got a job in the local school system in St. Mary's County. Fortunately, that's where I met my wife, and from that point on, we were both teachers at the same school teaching the same grade. Before we got married, we decided to buy our first house together, actually just outside of Solomon's, on the other side of the Solomon's Bridge. And from there, we've moved to a few different houses in Southern Maryland and St. Mary's County specifically, and just really haven't left, and for some of these main reasons I'm going to talk about right now. So let's go ahead and get started. My number one, and I believe my wife's number one favorite thing about Southern Maryland, is definitely the pace of life. So it's not as busy as other places. There's not as much traffic. There's just a slower pace feel to it. You don't have to worry about, feeling like you're on the Beltway or 95 and cars zooming by you and people being, kind of rude and cutting you off. For the most part, it's a pretty easy drive everywhere. While it can be a little bit more in mileage, time's about the same compared to when you're living in a city. But it's just slower and easier. And I honestly think that people are friendlier too. People still wave at you when you drive down a neighborhood road, and people acknowledge your existence when you're at stores, and everyone just kind of knows you in that area. It's got that small town feel that a lot of people really do enjoy. So another big reason, and I grew up actually in Annapolis, and my wife was from Pennsylvania, but both of us have a love for the water. And so when we got down here, when we both were down here, we realized how much we just love the water of Southern Maryland, especially St. Mary's County. We're surrounded by water everywhere. We have the Patuxent River, we have the Potomac River, and we have the Chesapeake Bay. And actually, my wife and I have lived on the Patuxent River, we lived on the Potomac River, and it's just one of those things that I know I couldn't go without, and I think even her being from Pennsylvania, now that she's been in Southern Maryland long enough, I don't think she could go without it either. I just can't imagine not being somewhere where we have such easy access to water. And honestly too, not only is it easy access to water for just the general public, the price of waterfront, the ability to buy houses that have water access, or the community has water access, or just the ability to buy a house in almost any budget that has a water view or is within walking distance to water, is something really unique to Southern Maryland, and especially St. Mary's. So at the time, another reason why we decided to stay too were the school systems. We knew that we like this lower pace of life, we like being around the water, and for the area, St. Mary's County and Calvert County were great school systems. So if we knew if we stayed in this Southern Maryland area, we would either keep working for the school system, or at least when our future children, and we have one son, decided to go to public schools, we felt comfortable at these schools, and we felt like he could be in good areas with good schools that we felt comfortable with him going to. So that was another reason why we decided to stay here. The next reason why we decided to stay is we were teachers. And we definitely wanted to be by the water. We definitely wanted to stay in that Maryland area. And the cost of living in St. Mary's County compared to other areas. Now, the cost of living in St. Mary's County is definitely higher than some of the Midwestern states and things like that. But compared to other areas that had similar features with good schools, with access to water, the cost of living was a lot lower. So for us on teachers' budgets, we were able to afford a house that, almost felt like we were living above our means. That felt like we were kind of living the high life, being able to walk down to Marina, being able to get our boat into a boatel and kind of stuff like that. And it just felt like the good fit for us. And then also, the transportation costs were a lot cheaper since we were living in St. Mary's County and working in St. Mary's County. And also a lot of the other costs that are associated with living in general are lower down here in St. Mary's County. Fuel prices are lower than most places in Southern Maryland, and healthcare costs are actually lower as well. So another great thing about St. Mary's County is the different types of properties. So, and this goes for all of Southern Maryland as well. You can normally find different communities that have HOAs or no HOAs. And for me, for what I like to do, being outside, we like to take vintage campers or vans and turn them into, finished campers and stuff like that. So not having an HOA telling us that we can't do that in our driveway, we can't have that kind of stuff, is a big plus for us, because it makes it so that we can do some of those things we like in our house. And in other areas in Maryland, and especially kind of that capital region, it can be tough to find an area in our price range that doesn't have an HOA that would allow us to do that. And at one point we even had chickens, which in a lot of HOAs is a big no-no too. So if you're one of those people that really like to use your lot and your land the way you kind of want to, St. Mary's and Calvert and Charles are nice because you can find places that don't have those HOAs, so you can do what you want with what you have. My next reason why we've stayed in Southern Maryland, and specifically St. Mary's County, like I've said a few times, is because it is a weather sweet spot. I love it when it's hot in the winter, in the summertime, and I love it when it's kind of cool and a little bit of snow in the winter time. And it is, St. Mary's is that perfect thing. We get nice hot summers, warm springs, and warm falls, and normally we get a lot less snow than other areas surrounding us. Even into Charles County and northern Calvert County, and especially up into the capital and the western regions of Maryland, we get a ton less snow than both of them. So it's nice to get that little taste of winter. It still lasts longer than I'd prefer to have no winter, but it's not nearly as bad as, say, that northern Maryland, Hagerstown, where they're getting inches upon inches of snow, and freezing happens really early compared to us too. So not only is it great to not be able to enjoy that, it extends that growing season if you're a gardener, and it's just a really nice sweet spot, I think, where you're still getting all 4 seasons, but you're kind of cheating a little bit more spring and fall out of it than the other places in Maryland. All right, so my last reason that we've chosen to stay where we are and not move, somewhere else in Maryland or even somewhere else in general is 100% because we're far enough away from the cities that we don't have to deal with the city headaches, but we're close enough that we can get into DC, Baltimore, Alexandria, all those capital region areas pretty easily. Now, it is still an hour and a half to 2 hour drive sometimes, especially to Baltimore. But I think it's a good trade-off to not have to live it in all the time, and we can just get there when we need to and not to be there all the time. So we still go to the Orioles games, we still go to Ravens games, we still go to downtown Alexandria and stuff like that. And normally it's kind of a normally it's kind of a weekend thing. And it's not normally on a whim, it's planned out, but it's something that we can still get to and still go do, but still enjoy the cost of living that we have down here compared to having to pay the cost of living in that capital region. All right, so those are the reasons that we moved to Southern Maryland and why we've stayed here. If these are some of the reasons that you were considering Southern Maryland, make sure you reach out to me and I will help you get some ideas about where the best place for you to live in Southern Maryland is. Like I've said a bunch, we're in St. Mary's County and I love it, but you might want to be in a different area of Southern Maryland, Calvert or Charles County. So use that contact information below. Text me, call me, whatever it is, and I'd be happy to help you. And like I said before too, scroll down to that first comment, click the link, and you can make a Zoom meeting with me through my Calendly app, and we'll be able to sit down face-to-face or computer screen to computer screen and talk about what the best fit for you is when you're moving to Southern Maryland. And last, of course, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content. And like I said, there's a whole bunch more stuff coming out, especially starting to do some more tours of different downtown areas and different cities so you guys can get a real good feel about what it's like to live in Southern Maryland. I hope to see you on the next video.